Well, hello and welcome to Sports Today's Morning News Wrap. I'm Siddharth Gulati and I'm going to bring you all the latest updates that made the headlines on different newspapers and on various digital platforms. So, as always, as it has been a usual drill, let's just begin with some most important news, or the most trending news, whether it's from the India Tour of England or specifically from Wimbledon. Starting with Carlos Alcaraz, the defending Wimbledon champion. Well, he survived a scare in the first round of his match against Italian Fabio Fognini. It turned out to be a five-set thriller, but at the end it was Carlos Alcaraz who held his nerve and he reached the round two. It turned out to be a great match for Carlos Alcaraz. Initially, it was predicted that it would be a straight set win for someone like an Alcaraz who would show his prowess there, but then it was a great fight that Fabio showed, but towards the end it was Alcaraz who came out on top, and that's how he has reached the round two. Well, some more things about Wimbledon here. It's going to be Novak Djokovic and Yannick Sinner in action in their respective first round matches this time around. For Novak Djokovic, he's going to eye a record-setting 25th Grand Slam, and on the other hand, for Yannick Sinner, it's the only Grand Slam that he's yet to win at Wimbledon, and he's going to make sure that he gets his hands on the trophy this time around, starting with his respective first round match. Now, something related to India's Tour of England. Well, Ryan Descartes has made it clear that India are going to take a call on Jasprit Bumrah's availability for the second test at the very last minute. That's the only concrete thing that came out of his press conference there, because any of the other questions that he was asked, whether India would play two spinners, whether there's a chance for AajTak to play, what about Nitish Reddy, anything and everything, he said anyone has a good chance of making to the playing 11, whether it's Nitish Reddy, whether it's the chance of playing two spinners, whether it's going to be India going in with Washington Sundar. He said that everyone has a good chance of making to the 11, so all possibilities from that perspective are open. But for Bumrah, he said that a call will be taken pretty much at the last minute. Well, remember, India already 1-0 behind in the series, and if they go into the third test with 2-0 behind, assuming they leave out Bumrah for this test, then it's going to be an added pressure, not just on Bumrah, but also on the team too. Now, something about India's tour of Bangladesh that is scheduled to take place in August. This one latest statement that has come out from the BCB president here, he said that the talks between BCCI and BCB have been pretty positive, but at the very same time, BCCI is yet to confirm about the team's participation for the limited overs tour that's going to feature 3 ODIs and as many T20Is. The talks have been pretty good, but the BCCI is still awaiting approval from the Indian government, and that's where some uncertainty lies. There is no concrete reason as to why there is some uncertainty regarding India's tour of Bangladesh, but then that's the only thing that's still awaited, and that's a clearance from the Indian government. So we talk about also India Women's Tour of England here. Well, Harmanpreet Kaur, who missed the opening T20I due to a head injury that she sustained in practice. Well, she's still 50-50 for the second T20I here. A call on her participation will be taken just ahead of the match that's going to take place tonight. And if she continues to miss out, then Smriti Mandhana will once again lead India. Well, remember, India are 1-0 ahead in the series, and it's going to be a great chance for India to take another massive lead against the struggling England team. Also, one more thing before we jump to the newspaper section. Well, Nathan Lyon has quit an iconic role with the Australian cricket team. He is no longer going to be their song master now, after doing this kind of a duty for about 12 years, and he has handed over it to someone like an Alex Carey. But then this does pose a question, that is Nathan Lyon really quitting his test career for that matter? Well, that's not really going to be the case. He intends to play on at least for the next couple of years. He's eyeing those tours of India and obviously an away Ashes series in 2027. So this is one thing that he does have in sight. But for now, one thing is sure, that he has quit being the song master of the Australian cricket team, something that's a tradition within them when they usually are on the winning side of a particular match or a series. So now let's just see what the newspapers really have to tell us. But obviously there is a bit more about India versus England. They could play two spinners. Ryan Descartes' comment. Ayush Shetty, he's won the US Open for India's first badminton title of 2025. There's a proper feature-ish story that we have done on Ayush Shetty. You can check out that video on Sports Today. Daniel Medvedev, he suffered a first round loss in Wimbledon, and MS Dhoni has now moved to trademark Captain Cool. That's the thing, accepted and advertised. And Supreme Court has allowed Lalit Modi to pursue civil remedies against the Indian Cricket Board. So that's about it. Let's just take a couple of comments before we wrap things up. Shori Hola is asking, is Kuldeep Yadav playing in the second test? Nothing confirmed, but if you go by Rant and Descartes' press conference, anyone and everyone is playing the second test. And last comment, Priyanshu says, reports say Washi in place of Shardul, Akashdeep in place of Bumrah, then who will Nitish Reddy play? If the two things that really happen that you have predicted here, Washi in place of Shardul and Akashdeep in place of Bumrah, and if Nitish Reddy has to play, then the only thing that I can think of is that it could be Ravindra Jadeja who faces the axe, because I'm not really sure if you're going to drop the likes of Sai Sudarshan or Karun Nair after just one match. But let's see, funnier things have happened in Indian cricket before. It can happen again tomorrow. Let's see what happens. So thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned to Sports Today as we'll bring you all the latest updates and analysis from the sporting world.